Have you ever loved someone so deeply that you slowly stopped recognizing the woman in the mirror? I didn't notice when it started, the slow, quiet shrinking of myself. Maybe it was the night he said, "Babe, you're too emotional a beg. Try to be strong, small." Or maybe it was the way he praised independent women, but dismissed anything soft, tender, feminine as weakness. But I remember the exact moment my spirit whispered, "This version of you is not you." When we first met, I was light. Laughter came easily. My dreams felt like colourful asso okay dancing in the wind. I cooked with music playing, my waist moving small as I stirred my pot of soup. Life was warm. He loved me then, or maybe he loved the idea of me. But slowly, I started adjusting myself like a wrapper that wouldn't stay. If he said he liked a woman who wakes up by 4 a.m, I tried. If he admired women who don't talk too much, I forced my voice to shrink. If he praised women who don't show emotions, I swallowed my tears like bitter herbs. I kept telling myself, just be enough. Be what he wants. But have you noticed, when you're trying to impress someone, you can smell yourself disappearing, like smoke rising from something burning quietly. My friends began to say, "Amanda, you don't look happy again." My mother asked, "What is worrying you, my daughter? Did someone collect your smiles?" But I defended him. Love can blind you with loyalty. He never hit me, but his words, they sliced softly. He always tell me,
"You're too emotional. You overthink. You take things too seriously. You're not ambitious enough. You're not tough enough."
At first, I tried to fix myself, then I started believing him, then I started hiding myself. One evening, at a small house party, people were dancing, laughing, enjoying themselves. My favourite song started playing, the one that usually pulls joy from my bones. I stood up to dance, naturally, without thinking, but halfway through moving my waist, I saw his expression, that tight-lipped look, that silent disapproval. I froze. He pulled me aside and whispered, "Why are you dancing like that? You're attracting attention. Behave yourself." That night, I cried quietly in the bathroom, so he wouldn't hear. My tears fell like I was washing off a version of myself I no longer recognized. Have you ever cried silently, so the person hurting you won't think you're too emotional? Weeks later, I found an old notebook from my teenage years. Inside it, I had written, "My femininity is my superpower. My softness is not weakness. My dreams are valid." I stared at those words. Something woke up inside me, something ancient, something African, something God placed from birth. Later that night, as I cooked, I put on music again, the same song from the party. My body responded before my mind did. My waist began to move, my shoulders loosened, my spirit breathed. He entered the kitchen and frowned.
"Again? This childish dancing?"
And for the first time, I didn't shrink. I looked at him and calmly said, "This is who I am." He scoffed.
"So you can't change for your man?"
The answer rose from my chest like fire. "I changed too much already. I'm done disappearing." True, some relationships don't break you with shouting or violence. They break you with slow, quiet self-betrayal. Those tiny moments when you silence your joy, bite your tongue, and apologize for simply being who you are. That day, I made a different choice. Not to fight, not to argue, not to walk away, but to return to myself. I started dancing again, softly, freely, reminding my body that joy was never something to be ashamed of. I began speaking my truth with calm confidence. not to win any argument, but to honour my own voice. I took up space again, laughing without shrinking, dreaming without fear, breathing without apology. I didn't become someone new, I simply came back to the woman I had paused. And something shifted in me. I realised that love was never meant to cage me, never meant to silence me, never meant to dim the light I carried. Real love, healthy love, has room for my softness, room for my fire, room for my becoming. In the end, I didn't leave the relationship. I left the version of myself who thought I needed permission to live. And sometimes that is the most powerful ending of all. A woman reclaiming her breath, restoring her voice, and choosing herself quietly, beautifully, without asking for approval. Today, when I dance freely, not to impress anyone, but to honour the girl inside me who once forgot her magic. Women, hear me. Your tenderness is not a burden. Your intuition is not weakness. Your femininity is not something to apologise for. You don't have to lose yourself to be loved. Real love meets you where your soul breathes. For married couples, a man once wanted a perfect flower, so he kept trimming until perfection killed the bloom. Your spouse's personality is not clay to mould, but fabric to cherish. Create safe spaces for emotional expression, not judgment. My amazing singles, please don't shrink to fit a small room when God made you for open spaces. If love demands you dim your brightness, it's not love, it's a blackout. Choose partners who appreciate your authentic self, not a modified version. My dear parents, your children learn self-worth first, from home. If you silence their personality by the way you treat them, the world will silence their potential. Don't prune your children into strangers. Teach your daughters that softness is strength. Teach your sons that gentleness is power. Thank you for sitting with me in this story, for breathing through the quiet pain, and for listening with a heart that understands. If anything in this touched you, your past, your present, or the woman you're still becoming, just know you're not alone. Here, on this channel, we honour women's journeys, we honour healing, we honour the courage it takes to come back home to yourself. So, stay close. There are more stories to soothe you, more wisdom to hold you, and more moments to remind you of the woman you truly are. Until next time, take care of your heart, and don't forget to choose yourself gently.